Back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to use the background sync feature of a service worker. So here you can see that I have one service worker running. I have already made a video on how to create or register a service worker, so if you haven't watched that, first watch that. And once you have registered a service worker, so as you can see it is active. And if I try to what I will do is I will create a sync operation. So this sync operation runs on a background thread with the service worker. So as you can see, like as I mentioned, like it is a background sync, right? So it does take a little like it won't so for local development it does execute immediately, but it depends on a lot of factors. So I will first of all show you the demo. So if I click on register a sync, so here you can see that in the background, like in the console, it is printing sync operation in service worker. Okay, but yeah, let's first of all I will explain you what is background sync basically. So like a background sync, it refers to a sync operation until the device has a stable connection to the server. So that doesn't mean that as soon as you open my web app, if your device has a stable connection and if you have written some background sync, it will be immediately executed. That's not the case. It depends on a lot of factors. First of all, your operating system and how your and which browser the user is using. So if you immediately want some data once the user opens an app, background sync is not the option for you. Background sync would only be helpful suppose the user has closed his app, his battery level is high. I'm just telling some of the factors. These factors can vary. His battery level is high, his internet connection is good, maybe his device is idle, then the browser might do some background syncing for your web app. So suppose in background sync you can fetch some data from your server and store it in IndexedDB, and next time once the user comes back, you can immediately check, okay, if there is some data in IndexedDB, and immediately show it to the user instead of doing an API call. So that's why background sync is used. And a sync event will be fired in the service worker to handle a pending sync, and immediately if the network is stable, and later when the network goes back to stable. So if it fires immediately if the network is stable, but if it's not, then it fires later on. Again, it depends on a lot of factors. If the battery is in good level, all that kind of stuff. Again, it differs a lot from OS as well as browser. So you should not do immediate operations for background sync. And also the result of background sync should be stored in IndexedDB because service worker cannot access your local storage. Now if you see over here, I have just created one button called register a sync, and here I have just included my background.js javascript file, and here I am registering my service worker. Okay, so this is my service worker, and if you see on the button click, all I am doing is that I am just checking whether my service worker is ready or not. If it is ready, then I am calling this and if it is possible to sync, then I am calling this like tag. Okay, kind of like a key. So I'm registering this tag or a key, whatever you call it, of like. And if background sync is not supported, then I'm just saying giving an error message. I think Firefox does not support it, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I'm doing all my testing on Chrome, but you should do your testing on all the browsers, whatever is your requirement. So if you now go to serviceworker.js, so here you can see I'm listening for this sync method which is getting called over here. Okay, and I'm checking for the tag of like, so which we are calling over here. And on like, all I'm doing is that I'm just doing a console log, which I already shown you, right? Sync operation in service worker. So here you can do some kind of an API fetch call and add that data to IndexedDB, and next time your app opens, then you can check, okay, if there is any data in IndexedDB, then immediately show it. So that is the advantage of background sync with service worker. Also, one more thing which I wanted to show you guys is, suppose you have a long running operation or a background operation, and you don't want to wait till it gets complete, because who knows when it will get started, right? So for debugging purpose, you can just go to background sync over here, and here you can click on this record button. So this will start recording even if your browser is closed, and it record events up to 3 days. So if you want to know what happened inside my service worker for a background sync, you can click on this record button as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.